dear listener, to a world where the ordinary dissolves into the extraordinary. A place where the outcasts, the misunderstood, and the downright peculiar don't just survive, they thrive. You are about to step into the shadows of a family, bound not by blood, but by something far more potent, a shared defiance against the constraints of the expected. In this tale of the weird, the unique, the odd, and the outstanding, masks are more than disguises. They reveal truths. Time bends to willpower, and the stage is set for those daring enough to rewrite their own fates. Here, in the Family Affiliated, we celebrate the eerie, the luminous, the unsettlingly beautiful. So settle in, open your mind, and let the spectacle begin. Because in this family, strange is just another word for spectacular.
Chapter 1. Every family has a story. Welcome to ours. Under the glow of shifting neon lights and the heavy mist that clings to the midnight air, the Family Affiliated stands, an assembly of misfits, legends, and specters who have long rejected the world's definitions of normal. They are more than a freak show. They are a movement, a home for those who have been discarded, misunderstood, feared. At the heart of it all stands Rika Wildlee, the barker of the bizarre, the orchestrator of chaos. He does not just welcome the lost souls into his carnival, he gives them purpose. Embrace the bizarre. It is not merely a phrase, it is a promise, a rejection of the world's cruel standards, and an invitation to step into the unknown, to reclaim the parts of oneself that society tried to erase. But the carnival does not only exist for the living. Its lights do not shine with ordinary electricity. They burn with the essence of the fallen, those whose voices were silenced, whose brilliance was never recognized, whose lives faded before they could make their mark. Through Rika's freak show, they live on, their energy feeding the brilliance of the neon-lit spectacle, ensuring they are never forgotten. And standing at Rika's side are the Family Affiliated, the guardians of the carnival's truths, each embodying a different facet of survival, transformation, and vengeance against cruelty. Chapter 2. Rika Wildlee, the barker of the bizarre. Before the neon haze of the freak show, before the legends of the Family Affiliated, there was only Rika Wildlee, a man, not a barker, a father, a husband, a dreamer. His life was simple. His world was bright, filled with the laughter of his son and the warmth of his wife's touch. But the flames came swiftly, cruel and relentless. One night, his home was consumed, devouring everything, his family, his happiness, his light. And in the silence that followed, only ashes remained. He wandered, hollow, lost among shadows, until the wonder found him. The pact of the carnival. The wonder was not a god, not a devil. It was something other, something timeless and inexplicable, lurking just beyond the edges of reality. It spoke in whispers, weaving promises within the wind, offering Rika a single impossible bargain. Your family is not truly gone. Their light flickers still, just beyond the veil. If you would keep the carnival's lights burning bright, if you would fuel it with the essence of the forgotten, the lost, the fallen, I will give you a chance to bring your own light back home. Desperation carved its answer into his soul. He accepted, and so Rika Wildlee became the barker of the bizarre. The Family Affiliated, keepers of the light, A carnival cannot exist on empty promises. The lights do not shine without fuel. To keep his bargain, to keep the freak show alive, Rika gathered the lost souls, the unwanted, the discarded, creating the family affiliated. For now, his wife and child remained beyond the veil, their spirits flickering in the carnival's glow. But he would not stop. He could not stop. The lights must stay bright. The freak show must never die. One day, the carnival's magic would be strong enough. One day, his lights would return home. Rika Wildlee is not just a barker. He is a man driven by hope and haunted by loss, standing at the crossroads between tragedy and miracles. His freak show is more than a performance. It is a lifeline. And every soul that steps beneath the neon glow becomes part of the legend. All monsters are human at the freak show. Chapter 3: Gluttony the Bigtop Butcher. Before the carnival shimmered with unnatural light, before the wonder blessed it with its bright ascension, the carnival was something else entirely. It was nothing more than a wandering spectacle, a patchwork of forgotten attractions set up in empty cornfields, swallowed by darkness before the sun had the chance to rise. And in those days, Gluttony was just a man, a butcher, nothing more, nothing less. He fed the masses with the finest cuts, his cleaver carving through bone, his hands shaping meals that brought comfort in a world that offered little of it. He watched the families come and go, their laughter ringing through the empty fields, their smiles stretched wide beneath the dim glow of flickering lanterns. But Gluttony saw beyond the performance. He saw what no one else wanted to see. The bruises hidden beneath long sleeves, the quiet tension between a husband and wife, the tired, hollowed gazes of children who knew cruelty far too well. It was there, in the dark spaces between the carnival's joy, that the truth revealed itself. The parents who forced their smiles, the men who played the role of devoted fathers, while their fists spoke a different story behind closed doors, the ones who stained the world with harm and called it love. That was when Gluttony decided. No longer would he simply watch. No longer would he only carve meat for the innocent while the guilty walked free. He would cleanse, he would purge, he would rid the carnival of the ones who carried true darkness within them. And so, one by one, he began to take them. Those who brought harm, those whose secrets dripped with blood and bruises. He led them beyond the carnival lights, past the tents, into the depths of the butcher's domain, the meat locker, where no one spoke, where no one screamed, where the sins of the wicked were carved away, piece by piece, until nothing remained but silence. When the wonder came and offered Rika Wildlee its pact, Gluttony did not hesitate to follow. For the carnival had always needed him, even before its ascension. Now, beneath the neon glow, he still watches. He watches the guests laugh, the children run, the families weave through the freak show's twisted halls. But should he ever catch sight of hidden bruises, should he ever sense a predator masquerading in human skin, he knows exactly where to take them. The carnival may collect the lost, the broken, the misunderstood, but Gluttony collects the damned. Justice does not come with trials or second chances in the freak show. It comes with cold steel and the quiet hum of neon lights flickering behind closed curtains. Gluttony does not simply terrorize, he purges. He hunts those who bring true darkness into the world. The cruel, the corrupt, the ones whose existence poisons the weak. And when they step too close to the carnival, Gluttony leaves them beyond the stage, into the depths of his meat locker, where their screams fade into the hum of machinery. No one asks what happens inside. No one dares. Chapter 4. Athan Sorrow, the keeper of the ward of sorrow. Pain does not leave. It festers, it evolves, it takes shape in ways the world refuses to acknowledge. And for Athan Sorrow, pain became voices, demons whispering over his shoulder, clawing at his back, marking him forever. His childhood was a battlefield. His father was the enemy. Every word was sharpened steel, every touch a lingering bruise. There was no refuge, no kindness, only survival. Until one night, Athan took matters into his own hands. What he did, what had to be done, was neither righteous nor evil. It was simply necessary. The house grew silent. The bruises stopped forming. But the voices began. The three whispers. From that day forward, Athan was never truly alone. The voices followed him, each one speaking in a different tone, each one clawing for control over his mind. The voice of childlike wonder, innocent, gentle, it whispered possibilities, telling him exactly what he must do, guiding him like a friend from a forgotten past. It spoke of survival, of hope twisted into instructions. The voice assured him he had a purpose, a reason beyond the pain. The voice of focused lunacy, erratic, unhinged. It laughed at the idea of suffering, warping reality, insisting that his pain was fabricated, that everything was false, his fear, his agony, his memories. It cackled through the night, throwing him into moments where time blurred and nothing felt real. The voice of darkness, cold, silent, patient. It did not demand, it tempted. It promised peace beyond the torment, whispered that the only escape was ending it all, that the only true freedom was silence. They whispered over his shoulders, unseen, yet always present, carving their truths into his thoughts, their claws leaving deep scratches across his back, marks that never faded, wounds no medicine could heal. Athan carried those scars with him into the ward of sorrow, a place where shattered minds were discarded, where no one listened, where the shadows swallowed the weak whole. There he sat among the lost, waiting, enduring, not breaking, never breaking, until the carnival found him. The strength in madness, Rika Wildlee did not need to ask Athan's story. He saw it in his eyes, saw it in the weight that dragged his shoulders forward, in the way his scars gleamed beneath flickering carnival lights. Athan did not ask to join the family affiliated. He simply belonged. Here, madness was not weakness. Here, the whispers were understood. Here he did not need to pretend he was whole, because no one truly was. Now, beneath the neon glow, Athan stands tall, a giant of sorrow and survival, marked but undefeated. And when the lost souls step forward, when the carnival calls to those teetering on the edge, Athan listens. He sees. He understands. Because he knows what it means to be haunted, and he knows what it means to survive. Emerging from the ward of sorrow, Athan carries the weight of 1,000 screams, the echoes of minds left shattered and discarded within the walls of the asylum. His towering frame is marked by shadows, the darkness smeared beneath his eyes, revealing the battles that never truly end. He does not speak often, but when he does, his words are sharp, deliberate, a reminder that strength does not mean erasing pain, but carrying it forward.
Chapter 5. Raina Rose, the Forgotten Flower.
She did not begin as porcelain. She was flesh, warmth, devotion, a mother, a wife, a woman who believed that love, true love, meant giving everything. Every moment, every thought, every piece of herself. She thought if she loved harder, she could change things. Thought if she gave more, she could keep the world she built intact. But love is a cruel thing when wielded by the wrong hands. She did not realize, not at first, how much of herself had been stripped away, taken piece by piece. Demand by demand. How each word thrown her way, each moment of cruelty, each time she was made to feel small, had stolen something she could never get back. By the time she saw it, she was hollow, used up, a shell of herself. The hourglass of escape. There came a point, the inevitable breaking, that she finally considered it. The way out, the ending. She stared at the grains of sand slipping through an hourglass, mesmerized by the way time never hesitates to fall. Each grain was a thought. Each thought was a step. Each step drew her closer. She watched it all pour downward, imagined what it would be like when the final grain dropped, when there would be nothing left to count. Would the pain stop then? Would the tears dry? Would the weight lift? Would she finally be free? The answer never came. Not entirely. Because the freak show found her first. The porcelain mask. When Rika Wildlee welcomed her into the carnival, she was not the same. The woman she had been, the mother, the wife, was gone, buried beneath years of suffering, a past she could never reclaim. So she became something else. She placed the porcelain mask over her face, sealing herself inside something untouchable, something beyond what the world had once allowed her to be. The mask streaked with blackened tears, its makeup smudged and ruined, a permanent reminder of the emotions that had nearly consumed her. And she held her hourglass close, carrying her past in its falling sand, never forgetting the moment she almost let go. Now, Raina Rose is not just a performer in the freak show. She is a vision of every woman history has broken, every soul who once believed love meant sacrifice, only to learn the world takes far more than it ever gives. She walks the stage, silent but powerful, holding her hourglass in hands that should have been trembling, but now remain steady. She no longer counts the grains of sand to the end. She watches them fall and refuses to let herself follow. Raina Rose is pain, strength, survival, and every person who sees her knows she is the reminder that even when the world tries to break you, you can still stand. She moves with the precision of something once human, yet not entirely anymore. Her porcelain mask is streaked with blackened tears, a reflection of every woman history has broken, every soul shattered under the weight of the world's expectations, cruelty, and neglect. In her hands, she holds an hourglass, the sand slipping through her fingers, a reminder that time does not heal wounds, only deepens them. Every step she takes across the freak show stage is both a tragedy and a reckoning, a story untold, yet understood by all who dare to look into her hollow gaze.
Chapter 6. Smoke, the Reaper.
Smoke is a question without an answer, an enigma buried deep in humanity's past. He is whispered of in old tales, referenced in forgotten texts, and feared in places where death lingers close. Was he ever flesh and blood? Did he once breathe, once walk as a man? Or has he always been this? A force, an inevitability, a bridge to the beyond. For those who meet him, it does not matter. Smoke does not explain himself. He does not justify his existence. He simply is. The Reaper's promise. For eternity, Smoke has spoken the same words to those who feel the weight of his presence. Those whose time has come. Those teetering on the edge between this world and the next. Step along with me. I can show you the way because I am already dead. His voice is calm, not cruel, not eager. There is no malice behind his words. Smoke does not force the crossing, unless it must be done. There are moments, fleeting and unnoticed by most, where his stance shifts, where his shadow lengthens, where he gets closer, waiting, watching, knowing. But until you are truly ready, until it is necessary, Smoke will not take you. Death is not a punishment. It is simply a transition. But if he feels your lies, if he sees the poison you spread, if he witnesses the damage you have done to the innocent, he will not wait for time to decide. Smoke will make the choice for you. The scythe and the lights in the carnival of lights, where the glow of unnatural fire illuminates twisted smiles and curious gazes. Smoke does not perform. He does not entertain. He collects. Every bargain made beneath the freak show's glow must be fulfilled. Every promise carries weight. And when the debt is due, Smoke arrives, his scythe gleaming, his shadow stretching long beneath the neon brilliance of a world powered by the fallen. Some ride with the Reaper by fate, some by their own choices, and some never realize he is watching until it is too late. Smoke is more than legend. He is the last thing you will ever see. The neon haze casts long shadows, and within them lurks Smoke, his scythe a silent promise that nothing in the freak show comes without consequence. Smoke does not hunt. He does not chase. He waits, patient, methodical, knowing that every bargain made beneath the carnival's lights has an eventual price. And when the time comes, he collects. Souls do not vanish in the freak show. They become part of something greater. But they do not get to choose their place within it. That decision is his alone.
Chapter 7. Family is a bond.
Family affiliated. The carnival burns bright together. The family affiliated stands under the gleaming lights of the neon carnival, proving that monsters do not exist only in shadows. They exist in humanity itself. But here, in this world that Rika Wildlee has crafted, they are not monsters. They are survivors, creators, revolutionaries. All monsters are human at the freak show, and beneath the carnival's brilliance, fueled by the essence of the fallen, they thrive.
Chapter 8. Understanding the Meaning. This peek behind the curtain of the freak show has been a story for those who need understand. The pro wrestling faction known as the Family, affiliated with Rika Wildlee, Athan Sorrow, Raina Rose, Smoke the Reaper, and Gluttony the Bigtop Butcher, is one of self-acceptance, inclusivity, and empowerment. By embracing their own uniqueness and bizarreness, they encourage others to do the same. The phrase, "embrace the bizarre," becomes a rallying cry, urging people to celebrate their individuality and reject societal norms that often stigmatize those who are different. And the quote, "all monsters are human" at the freak show drives the point home. highlighting that even those who may seem strange or unusual are still deserving of respect, compassion, and understanding. Thank you all for listening, and always remember, all monsters are human at our freak show.